Welcome everyone. We are in a noisy, beautiful Beis Midrash, the best way it should be, with Kol Torah from the beautiful children of Shirat David, organized by the Moharan and Zmirat Haaretz. Is that the name? It's Moharan Zmirat Haaretz. And we have wonderful Avreichim here, and Rav Shlomo Katz, who just came around, and it's mechazik everyone that we're doing this. And even more important for me personally, we're learning with the Holy Zevi Stender. Is that how we say your last name?
Stender.
Stender. You're a Stender. You're holding up the Torah, literally.
Very reliable.
Yeah, you're holding up the Torah. He came here to make sure his son would be learning, and I came here to learn. And Hashem made it happen that we're now both learning.
Oh, you didn't notice that I came along?
Really? Oh, that was the stress.
All good.
Okay, so we'll dedicate this to the neshamas of all the people that are not in a position right now to learn Torah. They're in a situation of war, either with the Yetzer Hara, which is unfortunately a lot of Klal Yisrael, or with the war with the actual people of the Yetzer Hara that represent the Yetzer Hara. These Hamas guys, these Machshamam Zichron. We should wipe them all out, and we should be saved from a Yetzer Hara, so we can have peace and simcha and only good news. Baruch Yitzchak ben Masha, my son, should return home safely alongside all our other friends and family, and we should all, and all those who have lost someone should have an Ilya Nishmas, the person who's gone up already, and the family should have comfort amongst the mourners of Sion and Yerushalayim. So we'll be learning. Yeah, the captives should return as well. Thank you. Mem Zion, they just found another 20-30 people, I think, alive, healthy. Eretz Yisrael, we learned about Eretz Yisrael, which is very appropriate because we're dealing with this is where we are. And we started with Yaakov Avinu, is the idea of Yeshev Yaakov Ba'aretz, B'shul Zeh Nikras Eretz HaChaim. So we learned this already inside. What we're going to do, we're going to skip now to Anachnu Bnei Yisrael. Yeah, it's very important, Eretz Yisrael, but now we have to talk about Bnei Yisrael. Mekablim Hashefer Derech Eretz Yisrael. A lot of the people I work with, the Gerim, they always get Derech wrong. They say Derek, like the name Derek, and it was like
It's that guttural.
Baruch.
It's that guttural.
Yeah.
Baruch.
Baruch.
Hey Baruch, how you doing?
Baruch.
Kag Sameach.
Derech. Chag. Ach. Yeah, the Shefa Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is Shefa. Yeah, it doesn't seem so much like that right now with a lot of panas opportunities seemingly blocked. But the truth is, that's only because we're in a Hester right now. As it says in the Svarim, Bereshis is a time of Choshech, of Pnei Tahom. Everyone's bringing in this pasuk of Shlomo. I've heard it in a bunch of other shirim as well. Bnei Hastas to Bnei, that Hashem's hiding himself in the darkness right now, but it's only because he's about to bring a bigger light. Yeah, and that's the Ruach Mashiach, the Ruach HaPeinu Mashiach Hashem that's coming, that's going to follow this, Bez Hashem. And that's the Shefa of Eretz Yisrael that's constantly here. It says Rabbi Nachman ben Feigu Nachman ben Simcha, and also this is a Beditch of his Yotzai. Shav Levi Yitzchak ben Sarah Sasha, he should be Margenas, and a Chosim Sofa of Moshe. He Ares Pnei Yaakov, Ares HaTefillin. That the light of the face of Yaakov is the light of Tefillin. We all put on Tefillin today, I assume, yeah? B'shvil Zeh Kasivba, even the soldiers, many of them, are putting on Tefillin. And then that should be a shmir for them. Hanos and Imrei Shefa. And the Nos and Hashem should give the Shefa. So Pasuk in Bereshis. We're now in the beginning of Bereshis, and this is right at the end of Bereshis. So we're already getting highlights of the climax of Pashas Vayechi, Yaakov, of Hanos and Imrei Shefa. I believe that's talking about Naphtali or Asher. Yeah, I don't remember which Tzaddik, but it could be. I think it's Naphtali. And the Tali is also Osius Tefillin, which will fit in. Ki Shefa Zeh Bechinas Payah. Because Shefa is the aspect of Peh, glory. Bechinas Tefillin. We all know that Peh, glory, is Tefillin. Shehi Nos and Nanu Osius Ha'ara Kabbalat B'Tefillin. Excuse me with the coughing. That this is given to us through the letters that light up when we kibbul with tefillin, we receive from the tefillin. Because remember, inside the tefillin is 4 parshas of Kriya Shema, Dalet parshas, and they have in them Shema v'Yem Shema, Kadesh v'Kivyecha, those 4 parshas, and they have beautiful osius of Torah, of psukim, of chizuk, famous Torah, famous concepts of the Yichud and Avos Hashem, Yiras Hashem, and the Umar Kushamayim, beautiful psukim of the Kodesh, Kedushas, Am Yisrael, and the fact that He'll bring us to the land. These are beautiful psukim that come and light us up when we put it on, that within the tefillin, and so too the osis on the tefillin, the Shem Shakai, and the Yud. There's a lot of light in the tefillin. Zeh perish Ra Chaim Ima Isha. See life with the wife. Now, that's one we need to hear right now. We're all at home, pretty much, yeah? Even the biggest business guy in Eretz Yisrael, I'm sure, has to be home right now more, unless he's out as a soldier. Whoever's not a soldier is probably at home, yeah? That's the Bechina. Might maybe get out a little bit, do some chesed. Like I heard, Ari Turks has driven all the way up to Svat to drop a soldier up there. It's amazing chesed. But not all of us are going to do such a chesed, so most of us are at home. Hanosin Imrei Shefa Roshi Tevis Isha. Yeah, this pasuk Hanosin Imrei Shefa is the first letters is Isha, woman, and we just said Zeh Reya Chaim. Then you'll see life, Daika, and he's making a point. Yeah, Chaim, Shefa, Tefillin, and we're all asking right now for Chaim, for the soldiers, for Am Yisrael. We all need the Chaim. Everything, according to the Amshana, we're all b'mokum sakana. Everyone right now, we want a place of danger. Ki Tefillin Nikraim Chaim. Zeh Naftali al Yeshlucha. That's what I said, Naftali. And says Rabbi Nachum, what I just said 2 minutes ago, he must have got it from me. Osias Tefillin. No, I'm just joking. Maybe my Gilgal before that. Eliel, the Vilna Gaon.
Perhaps you learned this before.
Yeah, maybe, that's true. That was a long time ago.
Just hiding down there.
It's about 20-something years ago. So, Naftali Osias Tefillin. Naftali is Osias Tefillin. Yeah, it's amazing to think how long I've had a kesher with Rabbi Nachman. I've had a kesher the majority of my life with Rabbi Nachman's Torahs and Chabad and Yiddishkeit and Talmud. I'm at that point where most of my life I've been married, I've been connected to Torah. Hopefully that's outweighed the other part. I was a Vilda Chaya, a wild boy. Kashana Ochlin Shefa MS Habad Derek. See? Derek Eretz Yisrael. That we come and we eat this Shefa with truth. Remember that Shefa MS, this true Shefa, Habad Derek Eretz Yisrael. Remember, we have to eat with truth. We eat with Shirorim. Remember, we eat Kazayas, Beitza. We eat to make brachas. We don't eat to fress. Yeah, that was the whole Torah we had before. That's why we get the Aris Ponim, this light. Achakach anu medabrim hilalu shel Kodesh Boruch Hu zeh koyach as nice as Shemayim va'aretz chadasha. That's, by the way, anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, they can just go back to the beginning of the Torah, which we did. How long? It feels like years ago, but it was like only a few weeks ago during the 10 days of Tshuva and just before Sukkot. Sukkot we actually learned a different Torah, but it was connected to this. We ended up connecting it. We learned Torah Vav. But here we're learning Torah Mem Zayin. You go back to the beginning of Torah Mem Zayin, you'll see how this all makes sense. As a nice Shemayim V'aretz Chadasha. That the whole idea that we're speaking about, the praises of Hashem, that with this koyach, He is making Shemayim V'aretz Chadasha. New heavens and earth every day. That's the amazing thing. Once you tune into Panimis Torah, Hashem's constantly even in Siddur, if you look in the Siddur, also Masha Bereishis Tamid, Hashem's constantly making the creation every minute. You start tuning into that, then you never have to get caught up with any sort of story or agenda. Things can change in a second because Hashem's constantly creating creation. So then you're never bound by anything. You're not bound, that's the ultimate idea of being proactive, of freedom of choice, because you've always got a new moment. So you don't have to get stuck in any I'm a Nebuch script, or I'm a victim script, or what's going to be with my family script. You don't have to ever caught up because you're constantly Hashem's making creation. So constantly there's opportunity now to mechadesh, to renew everything. You're going to say to Sion that you are my nation. Yes, apparently it's based on Chazal, but it's from the beginning of the Zohar. Al tukri ami ela imi. Don't say ami, say imi, with me. Shutafi, become a partner with me. Yeah, that's another important thing, and the Chabadniks say this every day. They're very big into this. The idea of tefillin, you become a shutfus with Hashem. Partnership with Hashem is the biggest thing. There's many ways you can do it. You can support Torah, you become Zvulin Yisocha, you become a partner with Torah. You can become a partner every Shabbos by Masha Bereishis, by making Kiddush. There's lots of times we become partners of Hashem. Another one of them is with Tefillin. And the Chabadniks say, every time you put Tefillin on, you've got Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the three things of the Shin, and the 4 parts, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, the 4 parts of the other shin on the rosh of the tefillin, and you're walking into every meeting. This is what Levi Sudak told me years ago. You walk into every meeting with the 3 Abbas and the 4 Imos, and they're with you. They're partners now with you. And now he's saying here even more. He's saying Hashem himself is my shutfai. We're partners. We don't need to go look for these big business guys. I always say one of my friends has done it ridiculously well, and he's just an artist. He just does graffiti and art. And he's done so well. We're talking about he's done the decor for Google and Spotify, and I could just go on and on. You know, he did Shari Tzedek. You walk in Shari Tzedek, all the fancy art there is him. You go into the biggest stadiums in the world. He's done it. And he was my boy graffitiing on my wall. And I always say, because he had this great partner, the business guy. Well, we also grew up with him. I was at his stag night. That night where I got paraplegic drunk. I told you about it yet? That night in Tel Aviv, I got paraplegic. I was at his stag night, if you know what a stag night is. The night before wedding. So that, I don't know if I told you the story. I was talking to someone else recently about it. But anyway, but the point was, that guy, that business partner, and he was there also, the artist, I always believe it's the partnership that made him successful. Because it's very nice if you're a creative neshama, right, but you need the business head to balance it out. Unless you've got both, which is almost, almost unlikely. Yeah, because a creative soul doesn't usually have such a ruthless business mind. It doesn't usually go together.
Make art.
Yeah. So it's different. So Baruch Hashem, but here we're saying even better. I've got shukfus of Hashem. Forget about the business dude, yeah, or the creative guy. I've got business of Hashem. Ki Shemayim chadash nasa ayidei aretz Bnei Yaakov. Because Shemayim is new, and it's made by the light of the face of Yaakov. Haaretz. I mean, listen. This is how big Am Yisrael are. The Yaakov is the face that breaks Shemayim of Aretz. We are the chukas Shemayim of Aretz. The whole world's mekayim in our learning. All these kids learning now is the tachlis of my separation. This is the purpose of creation, that these kids should be sitting and learning. Yeah? And even the ones that aren't, I also invited my son. He's literally over the road. Invited him, he's at the Arrows. I said, just come. Maybe he's here. No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe he's hiding somewhere. We never know. Let's malam ischus that both our kids are hiding somewhere. Might be hiding. Maybe they're learning together.
They might be in the back, yeah.
Learning, having conversation.
That'd be nice.
Ki Shemayim chadash noisai de'aretz Bnei Yaakov. Aretz chadash noisai de'eretz Yisrael. Shalechus ha'shefet derech Eretz Yisrael. Nimsa shebar akshav Shemayim mazalas acherim. Nimsa shemishane ateva shayim mutpa b'mazalas harishonim. Ki akshav noisai mazalas chadashim. Nimsa she'ayidei shibo atayvus achila. Noisai mosim niflos. So this is Rabbi Nachman. Only Rabbi Nachman could jump from the creation, and the Aretz of Bnei Yaakov into the Shefer of Derech Yisrael, that this idea that the land is constantly being created again, Eretz Yisrael, and the Shefer is going into Eretz Yisrael, the path of Eretz Yisrael.
So breaking your taiva.
And Hashem, is constantly creating the Shemayim and all these different forces of Mazalas, and you find from that he's changing constantly, Shef, Teva. Why is he changing Teva? And all the Mazalas, because say you have a muzzle to be a certain rich and to have a certain lifestyle and and I have a certain muzzle and this and that. And then what does Am Yisrael say? Ain't a muzzle the Yisrael. Why? Because we break our tigers achila. Why don't we have a muzzle? Because we're beyond muzzle. Why? Because we go out of our comfort zone. We go out of muzzle. We're not stuck in Teva. We're not stuck in the natural way of human beings that we need to eat, drink, and be merry. We're beyond that. We're on a whole nother level. We are the level of breaking our tigers achila, and that gives us the power to make miracles and pollute us. And that means every year. It means you'll go out of your way to go to a tzaddik. Yeah, we learned that in the first Torah we learned Kufnan. Hey, don't be lazy. Go to the tzaddik. But in a certain bechina, the tzaddikim want us to also become tzaddikim. They want us to, kulam tzaddikim. They want us to also break our tivers and also be able to do miracles and bless people, bless our son. My son wasn't able to go to a tzaddik just before this war. He came to me. Yeah. So I'm not such a tzaddik, but maybe I was held back from eating that cheesecake.
I was just thinking this for a second. That when Moshe Rabbeinu was on the mountain receiving the Torah, didn't eat or drink for 40 days and 40 nights.
Wow, that's a tzaddik. Yeah.
Right? And why didn't he eat? He didn't need to eat because he was totally in communication with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So because of his direct line with Hashem, he didn't have the need for food and drink. It's just like a partial understanding of it. So when somebody breaks their taiva for food and they're eating food for the purpose of eating a kazayas or eating a kabesa for the purpose of saying the bracha,
and serving
of saying
Hashem,
a beer, you eat
to do
till you're
avodas
sober
Hashem.
a little bit. I'm doing this so I can make a mitzvah, and I know it's sustaining me. You're going to eat less. They're going to be much more in tune with the spiritual, and the breaking of the food is going to.
So that's an akudah that's really important, and that tzaddikim, and this is something which connects into effective living. Even the gurus out there, like Tony Robbins, he says he's not a guru, but he pretty much might as well be. All these guys that are looking for like the best lifestyle, and they're looking for the optimization. This is the derech of tzaddikim. This is what they don't know, and if they know, it would be a whole game changer for them as well in the world. That the idea of tuning into the spiritual nourishment.
They'd solve everything here. They would sell all the diet books. They'd sell all the everything. Be like, just eat a little bit and like.
Yeah, because you nourish from the minimal. That was Moshe Rabbeinu's madrega. He didn't need anything because he's nourishing from Hashem. Direct nourishment, zan from its Hashem, and then comes down to our level where we hold back a little bit. And that's us showing that we mamin, that there's kedusha and holiness in the food, and that's all we're interested in. And we're not interested in getting stuck inside the physical. You know, one of the things I'm having a question in right now, I've been looking up Hilchos intimacy, because I'm doing a course in intimacy for the Bnei Akiva boys. Now, I did a class last night, and I did it on Zoom, and only a few guys came, because we were meant to do it in person, but then the sirens went off, and they weren't around, and complicated story. So I still did the share for a bunch of boys who came on, and I sent it into the group. They're all there, all in the same WhatsApp, 20 of them, and or maybe even more, 22. And we got the group. And one of the things I said, why didn't I focus as much on intimacy right now? Because we're at a time of war. In a time of war, I think in halakha, I'm just looking it up right now, that you shouldn't really be focused on intimacy. Now this connects into the same. Here we go. He says here. I just found I was looking at it I was just looking for 10 minutes, and now I just open up the book and there it is. When there is, heaven forbid, a famine in the region. This is a halacha in the laws of modest behavior, or in Siman 150, yeah, Kuf Nun in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Yeah, I looked it up in Mishnah Berurah Reish Mem Aleph in the base Midrash, but it's missing pages because of sneers. I don't know. They don't have the full Mishnah Berurah. It's right here. It doesn't have the full thing. And I have a sefer on sneers I bought, and it doesn't actually cover this halacha for some reason. Maybe because it's not like such a chiddush. It doesn't happen at war every day. When there is a heavy bit of famine in the region, Shakara Tavur Bakav, such a cat shortage as the price of wheat is written to its double cost. Even if you have supplies of wheat in the house, or Sheyesh Chafshom Shah Sarah, or there's some other calamity in the land, like a war, Asa L'Shamesh Mitoso, it's forbidden to be with your wife, Ki Im Belel Tevilos, except on the night of her immersion in mikveh, Lachashuke Bonim Muta B'chol Ona. But those who don't have children permitted an owner. So let's see what it says underneath. This is the definition of famine. It says underneath, who do not have at least one son, one daughter, does not fulfill the mitzvah Pri Revere, which is this week's Parsha, Pri Revere. This week's Parsha too. So those who don't have children yet, it is a mitzvah, and they should still do it. But the rest of us, people who have children, b'shefa, here, it brings it, bring me a Mishnah Berurah. So now it's showing me where it is. 240 is Reish Mem Bey, Reish Mem. See, I didn't find the Makor, so it does have it in the basement, because they don't have Reish Mem out. Reish Mem Bey, So we're going to look this up now, on recorded. Now this is a difficult halacha, because I'm a behemoth, Hashem forgive me, and I'm the kind of guy, like if I don't have intimacy, just like some people like eating is important, like they're into their steak, I'm a person who's like generally needs that kind of connection, and I think it's important nowadays how sad people are. But at the same time, the halakha is you shouldn't. So I have to be misgaber on my animal instincts and not do. See, it doesn't have it here. It's Peladik. It only has Reish Mem. I don't know why. I almost don't know why. And that's very frustrating. I have a Mishnah Berurah at home, so I can. It's weird.
But it says on the side, Aleph.
I know. It's like missing a page. It's almost like they left it out, Badafka. That Reish Mem base is already Hilchos Shabbos. That's Hilchos Shabbos. It won't start off with Hilchos Nias. It's not going to happen. So for some reason the Mishnah Berurahs in this base Midrash leave out this simon. I'm not sure why. I think it's weird, honestly, also. But I've seen weirder things in Svarim, so it's like they're scared someone's going to actually learn halacha. You have to know the halacha. So what's the issue? I don't get it. All right.
Okay.
And nevertheless, he brings down here, so the feed the kids Shulchan Aruch, we'll have to look into the Mishnah Berurah, we'll have to look into it a bit more, it's Asa, okay? Maybe we'll find the Heta, maybe we can even ask a Rav now, a Posik nowadays, maybe this war is not that kind of Sarah Ba'aretz, I mean, it's hard to say it isn't. I don't know what.
One would.
There's another Mishnah Berurah there.
I would venture to say that one would think the opposite of that halacha.
Why? Say, I want to hear your story.
Because when times are trying and challenging, oftentimes feeling close to your.
But why does it have to manifest as intimacy? Well, my svara was to the boys to back it up was that how can you be truly intimate, truly engaged with your soulmate when your mind is on all these painful moments going on, that there are women being raped, and you're like thinking of that rape, like disgusting action, and how can you now be in an elevated mindset to connect with your soulmate when you know that there's people being, like the women have been completely degraded, and so it sort of takes off the cheshik for it, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
It's not like we don't know about what happens, like the action of wars. Can you bring me that one? There's a base Orach Chaim, maybe that will help. We'll look in the Shulchan Aruch. See if we can get. Is that the right one? I think it's base, no? Oh, Reish Mem Aleph, you're right. Let's go here. We're doing some malacha here. It's Gavaldik. But this is connected because eating, Kedushas Abris and Kedushas Achila, are all connected to the idea of pleasure, and there is a connection with how we do these things. If we do it, this is Reish. Kuf. This is all Kuf. We need Kuf now. It's the next one's base. Okay, amazing. Okay, thank you, sir. We're having some fun with the Svarim over here today. Oh yeah, just before Hilchos Shabbos. Here we go. Oh, it misses it out again? Oh no. Reish Mem, yeah. Starts off Hilchos Shabbos in this one.
I'm telling you, it's the end of this.
End of it? I didn't see that. You found it? By the Prima Gonim? Oh, you could be right. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Smaller Simanim, so then it is here. No, they're definitely not going to take it out of the Shulchan Aruch, yeah? Okay, here we go.
Couple more pages.
So we learned it's the idea when there's a fast, Ba'aretz, you shouldn't look in the place, etc. These are all real things that, holy things that people should be aware of. Here we go. So it's in the Shulchan Aruch, Reish Mem, Siman Tes Vav. Lo yibo, don't have relations. V'hu Sova or Rav, Ella, she's Akwa Mozen Shememav. Lo yivav Mamad Lo Miyushav Lo. Oh no, this is talking about eating. Sorry. Shouldn't when there's no food. Shouldn't when you're angry. You see it here? Okay, so we're going to have to come back to this in the Shulchan Aruch because I need to spend some time searching for it. But the concept is there, that there's a certain idea, there's a time for intimacy, there's a time for eating, there's a time for everything, and during a time of war is not a time for intimacy, according to the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Because it shows, and this has it connect to what we're learning. Once again, you're able to hold back from something that physically you'd want to do. Okay, yeah. Oh Hashem, look at my phone for a minute and there's Nisyonis. Hashem Shemenu. Okay, we have to hold back. But look at the miracles we can pull. Yeah, look at the good. I think honestly, what does a woman want right now? She just wants emotional comfort, honestly. And in the end, the owner is her mitzvah, yeah? Unless she's like, if she really needs it, there must be a heter. And once again, is it like war in the old days where you're scared someone's going to come and ravage your city like back in the day, or like they did down in the south?
I don't know. I think people are nervous.
People are scared right now.
I think so.
I mean, it's definitely not the energy of romance. I mean, not that Judaism is about romance, but Yiddishkeit's not about that. Yiddishkeit's about soul connection. So the awareness is, either way, the idea of breaking your tithers a little bit is definitely a good thing. I heard once from the Balatanya that Sumei Ra in our generation is 1 billion or million, 1 billion something, probably 1 million because they didn't have billions, but let's add on billion nowadays. It's 1 billion times greater than doing something good, controlling your tithers. That's the power of Sumei Ra. It's so huge of not just giving in. Gam Zos Torah kasavti b'techila ba'atzmi. And this in the Torah I wrote in the beginning myself. Nimtza bo kama devarim mevorim yota. And it's found in many things that I've explained more. Gamsia perish hamikra v'choltem nechsa kan b'lashon hakodesh v'choltem nechsa. Yeah, and we see that it's in the lashon hakodesh. Masha chisazeh gidazeh. That what you're lacking will reveal this. Al kain atakti gam nusach zosh shekavti ba'atzmi v'zeu. Yeah, and he basically made a big effort to make sure that this would be put down in writing, that we should get it clear that by breaking our tithers we get to be able to make miracles, and we don't need to come to people for money, for income. Okay, let's just try, we do one more shtickle, I think, because it's connected now to where we're at in the land, in Eretz Yisrael. Choltem alcha v'savah v'haltem et shem Hashem elokeichem. And you will eat and be satisfied, and you will praise Hashem, your God. Remember, this is we learn. So basically now what is he doing? He's going through the same thing we just learned. This is what he was saying before as well. He's going to go over the Lashon. This was more concise, and now this is more explained. And I think the original one is Rabbi Nachman, and this is more like a broader version. We'd have to take the English version to make sure I'm 100% right on that. But from memory, it's something that Rabbi Nachman does, or Rabbi Nosson rather, that he gave over his Torah, like you see in Rav Tzadok as well, by his Talmidim, Pri Tzadok, it says Kasav Yad, this is the writings of my Rebbe, and now going ahead is now what I heard, like explains more. Yeah? So we're going into the same pasuk as we started this whole Torah with. Ki mi sheyotz Taivas Achila. Those who go out from Taivas Achila, Yochel Yos Ish Mofes, you're going to become a miracle man. I just got a message from Nissan Black's manager, miracle man, yeah? Become a miracle, Nissan, a man of miracles. Mishu Meshuka B'Taivas Achila. Someone who is completely stuck in Taivas Achila, the desire of eating. Simen Shu Shakran. It's a sign that he's saying almost the same thing we learned at the beginning. Kain Afilu Ish Sadik Shukava Yotza Metaiva Nofam Madregos and Nofam Taivas Achila. Shemis Yotza Shechem Epiv. Kaimor Gam Kain Sheish Din Alav Lamala Gamhu Simen Aniyas.
Because before he said that brings you to emes.
Yeah. Now he's saying the other way around.
Right. He's using the chazak. Yeah. If you don't do this, it's like he's a liar.
You fall from being emes and you're eating. You fall from the madrega of making miracles and having panasa b'shefa and Eretz Yisrael, and you come to the level of chas v'sholom, of having judgment and a siman aniyas. I don't think we should stay with this, so we should learn another paragraph. Inyan hinei ksiv acholta v'savatu v'rachta. Yeah, it says here, you eat and you're satiated and you bless. The harm is a tainus a yetzahar la'achul is ba milas and nafsho. And the chorah from this, we have a taina from the yetzahar that you should eat, be satiated and fill up his soul. Only afterwards should he bless Hashem. Yeah? What the chorah said? What's the shot? The yetzahar has a taina. He's eating and satiated, filling up his soul, and only afterwards he makes a bracha. Ach ba'emes amru b'zayin zechon bracha. K'siv asher lo yasil yisal aponim. K'siv yisa Hashem panav alechem. Ki lo yisa aponim. Chulu sha'ani amati acholta v'tzavata v'rachta. And v'dachin ol atzmim k'zayis ad kabeh. So this idea that the Yitzhak has a taina, you're just going to fress, and only then will you bless. The good rhyme, yeah? You fress and then bless. He's saying, no. I said, Chalta v'savata. I'm with the Yiso Hashem. I'm lifting up my face to you, Hashem. Yeah, because if you don't lift up your face, as we said, then you're not, then you come to that whole shekha thing, yeah, and aniyas. So you have to eat in an elevated way and bless, because you're doing it so that you can have the shear, so you can bless. Atzma mekazayas ad kabeh. Yeah, you're eating from the shear of an olive mount until an extra mount. of food, like cake. Yeah, the Belzers, by the way, their share is massive. Have you ever seen a Belzer eat cake? They have a massive amount of cake. I mean, the Rebbe is a bit bigger, funny enough, but that's not because of Tavis Achila Chas Shalom. He's a tzaddik. But the idea is that the Belzer shirim, they're more machmir, that you have to eat more to become the shir. So they have larger amounts of food to reach that level. Not because they want to eat more, but because of the Torah. So then it's B'Kedusha, you understand? They're doing it because they hold Al Pi Halacha as a bigger shir. Zerem is nifla. Im Yisrael medaktin bli achol harbe, rak mekazayas ad kaber. And if Yisrael is medaklik, and they don't eat a lot, yeah, they're not getting pressing away to bless. Rak mekazayas ad kaber. As heim bechinis Yisrael Hashem panav. Then Hashem's lifting up His face to them, and their face becomes Haras Ponim, as we mentioned before. As yesh Nasiyas Ponim. And then there's an Asiyas Ponim, an elevation of their faces. Ach nahefech chas v'sholem mikol hein v'chulu, like we said above. Yeah, they included in that whole sheker thing. Ki kashehem mishkuin tav zachila as hastaras ponim. So we want to get rid of the hastaras ponim. Right now we're feeling a lot of covering up. So what are we going to do? We have to eat a bit less. What's happening to all the soldiers? Fine, people are sending them shefer of food and clothes, but in the end of the day, there's only so much chesed that's going to go on. In the end, they're going to be moments they're not going to be able to eat. They're going to be in a situation where they're lying in the dark, camouflaged. They're not going to be able to eat. They're not. Maybe they have their little soldier supply they can break open quietly, but they're not going to be able to eat a bag of bizney. It's too loud. Yeah. So, they're in a situation of sakana. You probably don't want to eat much anyway. Yeah. So then they're going to be in a level of Gilui Ponim, because Hashem's going to see that they're being mizgaber on their natural inclinations, and they're there to most nefesh themselves for Hashem. They're doing the ultimate sacrifice, not just of the food. They're sacrificing their life. Yeah, and that puts everything into perspective. That puts having intimacy in perspective, food into perspective. When it's about life or death, it's a whole different way of living. Yeah. There are some tzaddikim who live in that way, that they're constantly ready to give up their life for Hashem. So now that influences how they run their life. Everything's on a whole level of seriousness and importance. Because every moment of life, they're willing to give up their life. By the way, that's a kavanah of Krishma we're meant to have. We're meant to, every time we say Krishma, we're most nefesh, be willing to give up our life for the Dalit Mises based in. It's a kavanah of Hashem Avaya, connected the Dalit Osis of Shem Avaya, the Dalit Mises based in. There's all these concepts. Some people say Krishma Alamita Lafida Arizal. I don't have that nusach, but I think there is a nusach where it goes to the Dalit Mises based in. They get really heavy over there every night. Imagine before they go to bed. It's the idea of living with Mesiras Nefesh. And if you don't, you get a staras ponim chas shalom. Zeh starti panai v'al. And Hashem's hiding His face when you're with the food. It's actual pasuk in Devarim. We just had it a few weeks ago. As a started panim chas shalom. Hina nesias panim hu bechinas emes. Kamar b'kavanas al sholishas esrei midas. And this is explained in the understandings of the 13 attributes of mercy, or understanding the Torah, because there's midas dreshes behen, but there's also the 13 midas of Hashem, midas of Rachamim that we say right now, and we're saying Avinu Malkeinu, we're saying a lot of tefillahs of Rachamim. Tikkun emes hu ha'aras ponim, that the tikkun of emes is through the light of Hashem, and having this shiny face and eating with kedusha. So someone who's eating in a really fressy way, he's like all into it. He's a foodie, but not just a foodie like he makes a business out of it. But he's really a foodie, like this is his life. Such a person is very distant from emes. Kihu mestares ponim. Shu midas emes, because the staras ponim is the aspect of emes. Is the attribute of emes. So when Hashem's showing Himself, this is truth. Think about it. One of the things that everyone's been going on about right now. Yeah, we'll stop on this point. Everyone's been going. We're going to get into Nizor and the Shefa Show. Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael itself has a Shefa. Mr. Hashem will learn about that next time. Yeah, we're going to get into that concept. We touched on it today with Imre Shefa to fill in, but. Just to end off this Torah, there's something very important here that we can all connect to. What did we get? And the way I explained it last night by Shir for Bnei Akiva, we have to have the end in mind. We have to have goals. We have to have a mission statement. We're in this world for a purpose. We're not just in this world to just like live, eat, drink, and and then pay our bills. There's a much bigger mission. Yeah, we're here in the Shama Kadosha. We have to clarify. And the point is, when you're eating be'emes, you're eating truthfully, it shows something about you. But you're also evaluating yourself be'emes. You're evaluating your inner world in a true way. And you're coming to know the truth. And not just about how you eat, but who you are as a person. You have much more clarity. And these last 3 weeks, we did a big training ground for these last 3-4 days of war. A big training ground of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, to get to the Emes, and Shmini Atzeres is the spitz of that. So that it comes, we're ready. Klal Yisrael's ready now for this war. We're ready now to know that we're Emes, we're part of the Oros Ponim, and those people who are darkness, or Hamas and Machshama, and all those people out there, they've shown what they are to the whole world. And Am Yisrael is showing what they are to the whole world. Chesed, Emes, kindness, responsibility, not just murdering, giving people warnings, having Rahmanus on the right people, not on the Rishoyim. And the Rishoyim were there to kill them, get rid of them, that's the mitzvah. We have Emes, and that's guiding our people through this Moharan. But we couldn't get to Emes until we'd gone through a whole Yemei Tshuva and Yemei Simcha, and that now we could be in this place to make this war successful. And we can do it when we eat food. The war begins every day. When you eat food, when you're with your wife or with your spouse, if you're a woman listening, the point at every moment is an opportunity to have a Moharan with your Yetzirah, either physically or spiritually, or emotionally, constantly fighting that element of yourself. And the more we subdue that side of ourselves or elevate that side of ourselves, the more we come to Emes, and then that brings all the Shefa and the Oros Ponim. Hashem shows himself, and then we won't have to be in this Gola state, in this painful state that we're in. Seemingly we'll be saved from it.
Amen.
I think that's pretty good connection to where we're at. And it connects into Bereshis, because what did they do? They ate Sadas. Their Das got confused. So what's going to help them? Emes, the clarity. What were you going to say?
I was just putting the way that you put into perspective that this war fell out when it did, at the time when we are all invested in our emunah and our relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Like, even a person that's not regularly on that path, like, they still show up in shul for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Like, they're still saying Hashem Melech for a moment.
You know how many kids? My son, he's in what they call more lefty unit. It's Unit 101, and most of them have never really had Jewish experiences or even know what Haredim are about, other than what they heard from the media. They never met them. And he's meeting my son, who's a Bnei Mamin, and believes in Hashem, believes in the Tzaddikim, and he's giving them so many mitzvahs, put tefillin on them. He's talked about Yiddishkeit to many of them. He's learned Torah. He's learned Gemara with the captains. They want to learn Talmud. He's learned Rabbi Nachman's Torahs. He's taken many of them to the mikveh, toveled them. He's put, as I said, tefillin. He's all tzitzits. He's even got them to bless. And he said the latest one was this sukkahs. He got a lot of them to shake a lot of an esrog and come into the sukkah. So they now have all that schusim to be able to now have that shmirah, that heavenly protection. Amazing. And if he would be in a frum unit, he wouldn't have had that merit to do that for all those people, because he would just be with others who do it anyway.
That's fantastic.
So in a way, it's all Hashem, and we didn't fight the system when they put him in that unit. They wanted him to move to a frum unit, but once it's sort of, we could have made a whole hoo-ha. But one of the things in life is to have a munah, no matter where you are, not always force things, and be able to, and that will in itself bring a lot of bracha, accepting Hashem's will in an easier way, and then therefore helping others to connect to it. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful.
And it should be a schus for him to come back safely as well, and all of them.
That's fantastic.
Just an extra addition to the podcast, we just asked for Shlomo Katz. He said the Heifech. This is the opposite of what the halacha says in Shulchan Aruch, that you can't be intimate during this time of war. He's saying in this time, he didn't give a svara, he just said that it's the opposite, that you can. And we said Leil Tefillah, for sure, that's what we learned on the night of mikveh, but also even the whole Tekufa. And I don't know what the svara is, maybe it is, like we were saying, that we need that connection be strengthened during this challenging time. That could be the svara. If anyone has any more information or I get more clarity, I'll add it on another time. Anyway, Besoros Tovos.